Located in Landover, Maryland, FedEx Field has the largest capacity in the NFL, and it will host what we hope will be an excellent matchup between San Francisco and Washington. Now we'll head over to Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth for the start of the game. Guys?
We couldn't have asked for a better day for football as we get ready for today's game. Welcome, everyone. Tom Hammond and Chris Collinsworth here with a call. Cartwright from the 5. And we'll see how their offense has prepared for this matchup as they come onto the field for the first time. Portis, the lone back. They go with the run. He's dropped for a loss. That cornerback just made this offense look bad.
One of the tough things about trying to get a cornerback blocked is how athletic those guys are. If you're a fullback or an offensive lineman or somebody out in front trying to make that block, it's just tough to get a hand on those guys. They're quick.
On the ground with a tailback. He lost yardage on the play. They get a 1-yard loss on that one. That'll bring up third down. 3rd and 11. There are 7 defensive backs on the field for the defense. He drops back, looks down the field. He throws left. Knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Looks like they gained 5 on the screen that time. Gets the punt away. Rossum takes it at the 43. Tackled at the 47-yard line. They gave up way too many yards on the return there, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, without a doubt. As part of the coverage team now, you've got to free yourself from that blocker as quickly as possible. And if you can't do that, you're going to give up some big returns.
He looks to throw on first down. He's there for the catch, and he made a great open field tackle, a pickup of about 7.
Nice play there. It's only 7 yards, but that's the kind of underneath throw that eventually opens up some throws down the field.
Davis takes off in motion. Smith back to pass. Looks for a man open. They picked it off. They'll score. Touchdown. Great play by the defender. He was able to take it for 6.
You know, some defensive players, you don't want to throw it in their zone because it might get intercepted. Some guys, you absolutely don't want to throw it there because they can turn it into a touchdown going the other way.
And here's the extra point. Here's the kick. Extra point is good. Washington is up 7. He kicks it from his own goal line. He's tackled at the 33-yard line. The quarterback and his receiver were clearly not on the same page last time, and it led to an interception. He drops back. Throws to the middle. It just slips out of his hand. Norris wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 33-yard line. Smith is lined up under center. They'll come out in the single back formation. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. He's dropped at the 41-yard line. A nice pickup of about 8 yards.
You know, one of the dangers of blitzing is that if you can break that first line of the defense, now you just don't have the pursuit in behind it to stop the run.
dropped behind the line. That started off poorly and only got worse.
And you can see the running back there just saying, where are my guys? Where's my blocking? What's going on out here? Just need a little help from your friends.
It's away, and it's a booming punt. He fields the punt at the 20. And they get him right around the 28-yard line. Decent return there. He'll give his offense pretty good field position.
You know, I like that return. Nothing flashy, but it was really effective. The thing I hate to see are guys that are dancing around back there trying to be a playmaker when they're really not. At least he got up the field, got a few yards. That's what I like to see.
The defense was right there for the stop on the play. Not much of a gain at all.
Yeah, let's give a little credit to the coaching staff on that play. You talk all the time about film study and preparation and knowing what the other team is trying to do to you. That time the defense was all over it.
Campbell drops back. He's going to be tackled for a loss. The completion goes for negative yardage, loss of 2.
He just couldn't make anything happen after he brought it in. Good job by the defense.
He drops back, dumps it out left, and it's caught. And that one was completed for a solid gain.
Solid gain, yes, but no first down on that play. So now it's going to bring up a decision on the part of the offense. Defensively, I think they executed that one exactly the way they wanted to.
Frost kicks it away, and did he ever get a hold of this one? Rossum takes it at the 23. The defender gets him to the ground, and that return should set this offense up nicely.
He did a good job there finding a seam and getting up the field. You know, a lot of people don't realize that being a punt returner or a kick returner is one of the toughest jobs in the NFL. There's a whole lot of things that could go wrong and only a few that can really go right.
Drops back on first down. Scans the field. Comes down with it. He's tackled at the 39-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And so the defense gives up some yards after the flag.
And I know this is a game of emotion, and if you're not emotional on the football field, you're going to get beat anyway, but you can't let your emotions get away from you.
Gord on the run. And he makes it out to about the 44-yard line. 2-yard pickup.
Well, that was the perfect time for them to call a blitz. They got in there, filled up all the gaps, brought down the running back for a short gain.
San Francisco sends a man in motion to the left. Smith drops back to pass. Strong throw. He's brought down at the 29-yard line. A spectacular catch.
Boy, and the quarterback got away with one there because that was tight coverage, but his guy just did what he's been doing all season long, and that's going up and making a tough play.
Give to the tailback. Makes a cut, and he will be hit and dropped. The halfback gains 6 yards there on the misdirection. 6 DBs in the lineup. Play action. He's going to take off. He keeps it and maybe gets 3 yards. They line up at the 20. Gord alone back. Fakes the run. Rockets it out. Davis drops it. Davis was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. It's 4th down. This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt. and it splits the uprights. And now we'll take a quick look at the drive summary. Here's the kick. Randall L. fields it at the goal line. Dropped at the 27. They didn't look sharp on their last drive and were forced to punt it away. They line up in a one-back set. They'll throw on first down. Rifles it to the left. And the pass is knocked away. Randall L. was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete. Campbell is under center. He has two tight ends. Drops back. Guns it left. Catch is made. Knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Loses a yard on that completion.
Boy, that's just great anticipation by the defense there. They saw that play coming and were all over it.
Drops back to pass. Throws the bullet to the left. It's tipped and intercepted. He's down the sideline. Tackled at about the 19-yard line. What a big-time play. I can't believe he hung on to it.
Well, we're going to have to quit using that old cliche about cornerbacks and defensive backs not being able to catch the football. That was some play that time.
First and 10. Gord is the deep back as they line up in the eye. On the ground with a tailback. He didn't get back to the line. He was caught with nowhere to go.
This is a pretty good running back, and if you can hem him up like that, pretty impressive.
The 49ers line up with an offset eye backfield. It's the tailback. He's tackled around the 15-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and that makes it third down. 3rd and 6. Ball on the 15. The 49ers set up in the gun. Again with the run. He's brought down at the 9. Looks like he might have just gotten enough to convert for the first.
I wasn't sure he had that one, but remember, it's not where the ball carrier is. It's where the ball is. That time the officials marked it just across the line.
Fakes to the back. Short pass to his left. He's dropped around the 2-yard line. He laid that one up there, and the receiver leapt up and grabbed it.
Tom, you've called a lot of basketball games in your day. That looked like a big rebound, didn't it? One of those big guys inside just going up and snatching that one.
Tries for the end zone. McIntosh has the pick. And the defense just picked up their second interception of the half.
Well, they're reading the quarterback's eyes, and any time as a quarterback you look too long in one direction or at one wide receiver, the defense is just going to break on the ball, and they've been taking advantage today.
He's hammered in the backfield. The defense just ate up Esselin.
Well, those defenders get paid too, and every once in a while they win the battle. Clearly that time they were all over this offensive line.
Campbell looking to throw. He lost it. Willis gets the loose ball. The ball came free, and the defense was right there to scoop it up.
Well, one thing for sure, the ball's not going to stay free on that field for very long. Defensively, they were all over that one. They
give it to the tailback. What a shot! 3 yards there.
Well, that time the outside linebacker came on the run blitz. They got some penetration and shut down the play.
Single set backfield. The Gemma comes in motion. And they're coming after him. Sacked on the play. So I have to ask, what happened on this play?
You know, it's difficult for an offense and an offense's ego to admit that you can't block somebody, but there are certain guys in the league that you just have to commit more people to block, and don't let it bother you. You've got to protect your quarterback.
He's tackled at the 18-yard line. Not much chance of converting that pass into a first down.
Nah, and that's really what the defense was hoping for there. They settle their defense behind the chains, allow you to catch the ball, come up and make the tackle. Perfectly executed that time by the defense.
It's good. Solid kick that time, and he puts it right through the uprights, converting for the field goal. He kicks it. Fielded at the 4. Stays on his feet. They get him at the 29-yard line. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. Drops back on first down. On the run, he throws it. The defender got there in time to break that play up.
He did. He was able to get his hands on the ball, but if he had missed that one might have turned into a really big play.
Cooley is the man in motion. And they get him around the 34-yard line. Fortis gains around 5 yards on the counter play. Washington lines up in the offset eye this time. On the ground with a tailback. Cuts back and he's dropped. And that will definitely be enough for the first down.
The defense just couldn't find him on that play. I don't know if they were surprised or what, but that back became a little ghostly. He disappeared.
Passes the ball. He leaps. It's caught. He's dropped at the 46-yard line. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play.
Yeah, really a nice route that time. One of the keys to playing wide receiver is the ability to not only get into cuts, but to get out of the cuts. That time, very explosive coming out of that cut, and it made the difference.
He gets out to about the 45-yard line. They picked up a yard.
Very effective call that time by the defensive coordinator, bringing the outside linebacker a terrific way to give your defense some help in stopping the run.
Cooley takes off to the right side. It's a pass on 3rd and short. Surveys the field. Batted away. The defender gets a hand on it, and that will bring up 4th down.
I don't know if that's the guy I want to pick on 3rd down when you have to have a conversion. He is tough.
Gets it away cleanly. And they'll down it at the 2-yard line. Not much the return man can do there.
Yeah, he really did the right thing there. That's just to let it go, get out of the way, and really just give the guy credit. It was a good kick, very fortunate bounce. The last thing in the world you want to do in that kind of a situation is to fumble the football, give it up, short field for the other team, and a quick score.
What a hit! Gain of 5 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. 2nd down and 5 to go. Ball on the 7. The backfield is in the offset I formation. He's under pressure. There for the reception. Knocked out at the 11. Norris gains 4 yards on that reception. That'll bring up third down. Third and maybe a foot or two. Ball on the 11. They stack the line of scrimmage here. We'll see which linemen are stronger. He gets out to about the 12-yard line. I'm not sure he would have had that if it wasn't for that extra effort.
Yeah, a little guts, a little determination on that one. Those are the type of conversions you have to make if you're going to win football games.
And they drop him for the sack. The offensive line seemed to have a tough time picking up their blocks on that play.
They just overwhelmed the offensive line on that play. That is what effective blitzing is all about. The timing, the execution, that was perfect.
Drops back. There's a flag on the play. Makes the reception. Hate to say it, but this one looks like it's coming back.
Holding. Offense. Repeat second down.
So it's second and long now after the penalty. Out of the gun.
Here we go. 48. 48.
Drops back to pass. He needs to get rid of it. And he caught it. He's brought down at the 11. Excellent execution on the slant, led to a good gain. Looks to be about 9 on the play. Smith lines up in the gun. He has 3 receivers in the formation. Back to pass. He passed the ball right as they got to him. That pass wasn't even close.
Yeah, it wasn't close because the big guy was giving him a whack just as he let that one go. He was really under some pressure that time.
Punts it. Randall L. fields it at the 48. And they get him at the 44-yard line. Seems like the coverage broke down a bit on that one.
I thought they had him pretty well contained on that play, but he did find a small crack in the coverage, got it up the field. They were lucky they got hold of him. He could have broken that one off.
All kinds of pressure. Harris gets the pick. And that was the second time he's been picked off this half.
Well, we're going to find out how mentally tough this quarterback is, because when you get off to a shaky start like that, sometimes it's tough to piece everything back together again.
Let's go get it. Come on, let's get off the field now.
Fakes the run. Smith drops it. They fall on it. Ball came out, and they were right there for the recovery, Chris.
Yeah, the first thing you do on defense when you see the ball out is you grab that guy that just fumbled the ball and make sure he doesn't recover it. That time the defense got on it quickly.
Campbell takes it back. He throws on the run, and it's picked. And chalk up another one for this defense.
3 picks on the day, and every time you think this offense is starting to get it going, they turn it over again.
They'll throw on first down. With the throw. Pass is complete. Brought down right around the 50-yard line. He gunned that one in there for the first down, didn't he?
He really did, and when you watch a guy throw a ball that hard, they don't move their arm any faster. You see him driving off that back leg. That was a pretty pass.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 50. Still a lot of time left, but at the end of one, the score is 7-6. Davis motions to the left side. He fakes it. He threw off his back foot. Landry bats it away. Johnson was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete. They line up at the 50. They line up in a one-back set. He drops back. Throws out left. He's dropped at about the 33-yard line. That one worked just as they drew it up.
Good pass, good catch, I agree. Sometimes there's really nothing you can do as a defense to stop a well-executed pass play.
Gord on the run. He's tackled at the 30. He picks up 4 yards on the carry.
Gain of 4.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Ball on the 30-yard line. The backfield is in the offset I formation. Smith calls for motion right. Play fake. Throws on the run. And he catches it. He doesn't get back to the line. No gain on that completion. 3rd and 6. Ball on the 30. Offset I formation in the backfield. Sets up the play action. And he's hammered at the 37.
Not much of a decision here. You're well within your kicker's range. Go ahead and take the field goal and take the lead.
And they can really put their opponent in bad field position with a good punt here. Lee kicks it, and man, did he get a leg into this one. And this one will go for a touchback. So as the offense heads back onto the field, we'll take this time to remind you that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. They hand it off. He's brought down at the 26-yard line. They get 6 there. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll go from the shotgun. He drops back, looking for a receiver. And it's tipped away. Moss was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt. From their own 26-yard line. They line up in an I. Gives it off. Excellent open field tackle. Excellent job by the defense to force a 3-and-out.
Always thought the most important portion of any drive was that first down. It gives you a little offensive momentum going, but anytime you go 3-and-out, it is so tough on your defense. A lot of times 3-and-outs translates to points against your team and a tired defense.
He punts it. And they make the fair catch. The defense could do no wrong the last time this team had the ball. They'll set up shop at the 31. Gord lines up as the deep back, I formation. The Gemma goes in motion. Tosses it out. Stiff arms, and the defender still makes the tackle. Gord only gets about a yard there on the toss to the outside. Offset I formation in the backfield. He drops back. He needs to make a decision, and he's drilled at the 26-yard line. They might need to have the doctor take a look at him after that one.
Well, it looks like he's okay, but I don't know how. He cannot keep taking shots like that. And I'll tell you another thing. This guy's a tough guy, but I don't care who you are. As a quarterback, you take hits like that, you start looking at the pass rush.
Deep shot right side. Knocked away. Bruce was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete. The Redskins have everyone on the line. Looks like they're coming after this one. He punts it. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 49. Their last drive ended with a 3-and-out. Campbell sends a man in motion. Scans the field. It's incomplete. The quarterback put that one too far out in front of his receiver, and he couldn't stay inbound.
He tried to make a safe throw there, but the receiver was open. It didn't have to be quite that cautious and just let him out of bounds.
Here's the throw. Tackled at the 42, and that's a gain of about 8. Third down, a couple of yards for the first. Looks like 3 wideouts this time. And they'll try and get the first through the air. And the receiver has room to run. Great job to haul in that first down pass.
This team is just so good at executing those short, quick passes and picking up first downs and keeping drives alive.
He looks to throw on first down. Throws it out. Is there for the catch. Brought down around the 24-yard line. Good pickup by the receiver.
And we've always talked about this receiver's big play ability. He may not be the fastest guy in the league, but you can tell he wants the ball in his hands in big situations.
Little handoff. He makes his way to about the 15. That's a good 9-yard gain. That brings up second down. For the first time today, we'll get to see how this defense responds when they're backed up into the red zone. Drops back to pass. He throws right. He's brought down around the 14-yard line. Short completion there. That doesn't give them much in terms of yardage that time.
Well, the defense forced them to make the quick read and throw on that one. The catch was made, but there wasn't much yardage to go along with it. It's up to the receiver to make something happen on a play like that.
What a move! They bring him down, and it's first and goal. They get it again on third down.
And that can really begin to deflate a defense when those third down conversions keep coming. You can almost taste the water on the sideline, thinking you're about to get off the field, and then they convert another first down.
Up the middle with a fullback. And they get him around the 5-yard line. So at the most, he gains a few inches, and that will bring up second down. Portis lines up as the deep back, I formation. Another run. He's tackled at the 3. Gain of 2.
Tom, that was a run blitz on that play. They brought the middle linebacker effectively filling all the gaps, and there was simply nowhere for the running back to go.
Come on, D, let's get off the field now.
Play action. Short throw to the right. What a hit. I don't think he even saw that guy. That completion won't amount to much, and they'll wind up short of the first on the play.
Very disappointing for an offense to get a completion and not get the first down. The receiver's job there is to make somebody miss. Clearly have to give the defense credit there. They won.
Kick is up. Right down the middle. Pretty good kick that time, and he drives it home for 3 points. Nice job. He kicks it off. Fielded at the 4. Brought down at the 27. The offense takes the field, and we'll see if they can put something together after their last drive ended with a 3-and-out. Smith steps to the line of scrimmage. Only one in the backfield this time. Little handoff. Brought down at the 32-yard line. 5-yard gain. That'll bring up second down. The 49ers come out with the offset eye. Again with the carry. And they get him at about the 33-yard line. That's a 2-yard gain.
As a quarterback, you really want to make that pre-snap read, and it's kind of hard to not see the middle linebacker. He came on the blitz that time, and sometimes you just need to get out of a play like that.
They will be short, and they get no push from the offensive line.
Oh, yeah, they did. They were all moonwalking on that play. They were pushing. They were just pushing and going backwards.
Lee awaits the snap. Lee punts it, and he kicked this one pretty well. Randall L. takes it at the 23. Not a bad return there.
That was really a good effort. There wasn't a ton of room for him to run, but he was able to get up the field, get a few yards. You never get upset with a punt return guy like that. It wasn't spectacular, but he got the job done.
They give it to the tailback. Brought down behind the line. The offensive line didn't get much of a push on that play, and the runner was stuffed.
Well, that's what happens when defensively you get every gap covered. There is simply nowhere to go with the football. No chance for the running back that time.
He drops back to pass. Passes. There for the catch. Tackled at the 43-yard line. He put something extra on that throw, and it'll keep the chains moving.
And that's really what it takes sometimes, because defenders are so quick out there. If you don't put a little extra pop on it, they can get there.
Here's the give. Defense pushes him out of bounds around the 49-yard line. Picked up about 6 yards that time. That brings up second down. Hortus is the single setback.
Watch the ball, watch the ball. Game, 22 press.
They give it to the tailback. He's tackled at the 49-yard line. Hortus picks up 2 yards with the carry. Third down, a couple of yards for the first. Ball on the 49-yard line. Gives to the back. And he makes it out to about the 47-yard line. And he pushes ahead for the first down.
I like that call there. Put the ball in the hands of one of your playmakers and let them go to work. Not a big gainer there, but it's certainly a big first down.
On play action. And he goes down. And the linebacker was able to get him on the blitz.
I always thought training camps were done backwards. They always start with the simple protections, the simple plays. If I were coaching on day one, all I would do is practice picking up blitzes. If you can pick up blitzes, you can block anything.
Back to throw. The pocket is collapsing. The rush gets there, and he goes down. And that was a great blitz by the linebacker on that play.
He just read that play perfectly, was able to come free and get the quarterback. We're starting to see this more and more in the league now, where guys fake like they're going into coverage, then come in for the sack.
Campbell looking to pass. He throws left with the catch. He took a shot at the 45. Despite the great effort, it will still bring up fourth. Rossum is back deep to return the punt. Gets the punt away. It'll go out at the 34. The offense takes the field, hoping to put something together after their last drive ended in a 3-and-out. Back to throw. Fires it left. Nearly picked off. He should have had that one. Battle was the intended target on that incomplete pass attempt. Second down now with 10 to go. Ball on the 34. They come out in a nickel.
Tiger. We up. Over top, two straight. Yeah.
Smith back to pass. He's under pressure. Smith can't hang on to the ball. Staley gets his hand on it and scoops it up. That one popped out, but they recovered it to retain possession.
And it's not always who has possession when you go to the bottom of one of those piles. It's who comes out with it at the end of that little scrum discussion down there. I've actually been pinched and had my hair pulled at the bottom of one of those piles.
And it'll be fourth downs following the pass deflection.
Just terrific play by the defense. They followed the quarterback's eyes, made a quick jump on the ball, and were all over that one.
They get this one off, and it's a great kick. Fielded at the 19. He got depleted. It looked like he might just have outkicked his coverage on that one. Campbell steps up to the line, 3 wide receivers.
Left, 21. Come on, little hustle.
They go with a run. He's dropped at the 47-yard line. A couple of yards there.
The defense did a nice job there jamming the running back, bringing the outside linebacker on a blitz. Sometimes those outside backers a little more athletic and can really help stop the run.
Turbo, Simba, peel one single. Come on.
They'll give it off here. He's brought down at the 48-yard line. A 5-yard pickup for the halfback. Here's a 3rd and 3. Ball on the 48-yard line. Portis alone in the backfield. Looks down the field. 2 minutes left in the half. And the pass will fall incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
And those are the kind of big third down plays you have to have on defense to get the ball back and give your team a chance on offense.
Gets the punt away. Goes into the end zone for a touchback. The defense could do no wrong the last time this team had the ball. Back to throw. Throws the bullet across the middle. And they get him around the 24-yard line. Pretty nice throw on that play.
And a pretty good catch on the other end, too. That's one of those plays that's quickly becoming one of the staples in this offensive passing attack.
Looking to throw. Rifles it right. He's dropped at the 33. Great pickup for the first on that one.
And really what makes NFL football so special is the ability of these quarterbacks to throw it and these great receivers to catch it. That's just fun to watch.
Looks to pass. Short pass to his left. Caught out of bounds, incomplete. They went with a sideline pass, but he couldn't stay in bound.
And that would have been a spectacular catch if he'd been able to come up with that one, just thrown a little bit too far outside.
He drops back. Throws while on the run. He's tackled at the 35. Battle only gains about a yard with that catch. The Redskins bring in their dime package. 1 minute left to play in the first half. Smith dropping back. Pass is right. Brought down around the 48-yard line. A nice completion to the tight end.
I always thought tight ends were sort of like pacifiers for babies, you know, just about the time that you need a little security blanket, you know where to go.
About 6 yards on the play. Smith lines up in the shotgun. 3 receivers split out. He drops back, surveys the field, makes the grab, to the 10, gets in for the touchdown. He hauled in that long pass for a touchdown.
What are you going to do? How do you defend that? That's just perfectly executed between a hot quarterback and a pretty good receiver.
And this attempt will give them a 3-point advantage. Point after is good. And here's your drive summary for that last series. Not a bad kick. It's fielded at the 2. Still moving. They get him at the 26-yard line. Let's see if the offense can put something together on this drive. They'll start this drive at the 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Cooley goes in motion. He's looking to throw. Looking for an open man. Makes the catch. Inside the 30. To the 10. Touchdown. They hooked up for a long touchdown.
I don't care what you say. Anytime you see a big pass play like that, I think it's as pretty as anything that happens in sports anywhere.
Lining up for the point after. And the point after is good. Washington is up by 4. Kicks it off. Rossum fields it at the 1. He's tackled at the 31. If the offense can air it out as effectively as they did on their last drive, it's going to be a long day for everyone on that defense. The 49ers put a man in motion to the right. Drops back to pass. Passes to his right. Knocks it away. A great play by the defense to knock the ball away.
And these defenders have been close all day. You better be careful if you're the quarterback. One of those is going to turn into an interception.
One more play before we hit halftime, so they'll most likely throw one towards the end zone here. Smith takes it back. Throws the bullet to the right. And they get him at the 42. And we've come to halftime here. The score is 17-13. And here's the kick. He'll return it from the 3. Dropped at the 29-yard line. So before the offense hits the field, let's take the time to let you know that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. Gord lines up as the single back. He drops back. Looking for a receiver. Completed. Tackled at the 39-yard line. And a big catch by the tight end.
And I can tell you this, there's nothing that defensive backs hate more than to have one of those big tight ends in the open field running right towards them.
Come on, D.
All kinds of pressure. McIntosh catches it. Interception. He's tackled at the 38. Great catch by the linebacker. Not a smart throw from the quarterback.
You know, it's hard to believe that you can lose a guy that big, but sometimes those linebackers dropping underneath in coverage, quarterbacks just don't see him, and he threw it right to him.
Looking to throw. He's going to run. Brought down right around the 34-yard line. The quarterback scramble gains 3 yards. It's 2nd down and 7 to go. Ball on the 35-yard line. Campbell is lined up under center. They'll come up in an I this time.
Let's go. Relax, it's the eight. No, you're good, you're good.
He's brought down at the 35. Maybe a yard on the run by the halfback. They line up at the 35.
Come on, D, let's get off the field now.
They come out in a nickel.
Let's go. We need to make a play. We need to make a play. Now. Pony. Come on, baby. Keep your eyes open.
The pocket is collapsing. Campbell will be sacked. What can they do to stop the bleeding here, Chris? They've brought him down 4 times now.
This defense has been getting consistent pressure throughout. Right now, they're just beating them to the punch. They're a little quicker off the ball, a little stronger at the point of impact.
He punts it. Down in the end zone for a touchback. On his last drive, the quarterback completed a pass, but to the other team. Throwing another one could be disastrous to this offense. Smith comes to the line under center. Single back formation this time. He's tackled at the 30, a 10-yard gain.
I really thought the offensive line did a pretty good job picking up the blitz that time, but you could see the running back using his speed and quickness to get away. Good job by the back.
Back to throw. Strong throw to the center of the field. Torrance has the interception. And they get him at the 25. And just a great interception by the cornerback.
Might want to start thinking about trying to pick on that guy. We've seen all day he has simply been quicker to the spot than the wide receivers coming into his area.
He's looking to throw. He throws it. It's completed. He's dropped at the 16. Strong, accurate throw leads to a pretty good gain.
Now, they didn't pick up the first down that time, but you drop back, you make a good throw like that. Now you're in position to try and pick up this first down.
They'll give it off here. Brought down at the 16-yard line. A gain of a yard, if anything, on the run. They line up at the 16. Campbell, 4 receivers lined up here. Passes to his left. They bring him down, and it's 1st and goal. And a nice pass to the tight end.
So much of the game today revolves around those substitution packages, trying to bring extra defensive backs on the field to try and help against the pass. But when you have a big receiving tight end, that really makes that plan awfully tough to execute.
And they get him at the 6. A yard, maybe 2 on the carry.
Gain of 2. Let's go, baby.
Washington is going with the offset I backfield. He's dropped for a loss. He tries to wriggle away, but he's stopped for a loss.
Well, Tom, the offensive line just didn't get any push there. They've got to do a better job knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
Go get it, baby. Roger.
Setting up play action. Passes, end zone. Moss was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt. And the whistle will blow this one dead. Here's the call.
False start, offense.
He needs to pay a little better attention to what he's doing out there.
I think those are Just embarrassing. You go back to the huddle and you hang your head and you give it, I'm sorry. Sometimes those linemen look like little kids when they come back after penalties.
The snap, set down, the kick is up. It hits the upright and goes through. Here's the kick. He'll return it from the 6. Drilled at the 31. It'll be interesting to see how this quarterback reacts after throwing an interception on his last drive. They might have mistimed the snap on that one.
Hey, who is that, man? You learn from me, baby.
Full start, offense.
That penalty will move them back a bit.
That's just sloppy play there. You have to be able to concentrate in these situations. You're just giving away yardage.
Go get it. Hey, let's go, baby. Way off.
Drops back, and they're coming after him. Norris was the intended receiver, but they can't complete the pass. The 49ers come out in the ace formation.
Blue 45. Hey, Blue 45. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. You ready? Let's go. We're up.
Looks to pass, and the defense has a heavy rush. He's tackled around the 39-yard line, and another connection that goes for good yardage.
And we really see the trust that is developing between this receiver and the quarterback. That if the quarterback has confidence that you're going to be where he thinks you're going to be, he will throw it to you more often than he'll throw it to somebody else.
Rifles it out there. Stiff arms, and he's brought down. That pass is good for a first down.
And he had some zip on that one, didn't he? He reared back and threw that one about as hard as he could.
Smith steps to the line of scrimmage. Offense lines up in an I. They motion to the right. He needs to get the pass off. The quarterback is dropped. It seems to me they're having a tough time picking up their blocks.
Something went wrong on that play. You know, you have the quarterback who makes line calls, then you have the center who may adjust the line calls. Just watching that protection, I think something went wrong in the communication between the quarterback or the center. Somebody, that was a mistake.
Looks to pass. He throws right. He's dropped in the open field. And simply a great throw there.
Yeah, that really was a nice touch that time. Perfect sort of combination of velocity and touch. A very catchable ball thrown by this quarterback so that you don't have to overly focus on what you're doing and you can get your eyes back down the field, try and get a good run after the catch.
Looking to throw. Short throw to the right. He is hit hard on the play. A solid gain on that pass play, but it'll still be short of the first down.
And there's really nothing a defense likes better than those third and long situations where they can play passively. They don't have to worry about giving up the big play. Just come up and make the tackle. Good hit that time. Good solid tackle.
Lee kicks it away, and did he ever get a hold of this one? Into the end zone for a touchback. The last time they took the field, they were able to come away with 3 points. They'll start at the 20. It's 1st and 10. Washington is going with the offset I backfield.
Regular. Go. Yeah, we see that screen. Watch the switch.
On the run, he throws it. He's brought down at the 35. That one worked pretty well.
It sure did, and I wish all our fans could see what's happening down the field on all our television broadcasts, because so much of the game now is won and lost in the secondary.
He drops back to pass, looking for an open man. And it's knocked down. Cooley was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete. They line up at the 35. Campbell lines up under center. He has two tight ends.
Let's go, let's go. Please. Don't let your man make the play. All right. You got that?
Looking to throw. Rocketed. Pass completed. Brought down right around the 40-yard line. Saw an opening on the left side of the field and delivered a great pass.
And one of the things that people don't realize is that it's much tougher for a quarterback to drop back, essentially facing the right, and complete those passes to the left. Most quarterbacks, a much higher percentage of completions throwing to the right.
And they get him at the 45. The defense probably wasn't looking for the run there.
Hey, and as a defense, if you want to run the ball in that situation, go ahead. Come up and make the tackle. You can go off and pout in the corner. We'll go back and celebrate with a little glass of water.
Gets it away cleanly. He brings it in at the 14. Tackled at the 29-yard line. Once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you that this game is brought to you by the fine folks at EA Sports. The Redskins bring in the nickel package. He fakes it. Defense closing in. Brings it in. He's tackled at the 44-yard line. And a pretty smart play call right there.
It really is so much the key to football. You talk all the time about you have to establish the run. Well, there you see why. You establish the run, and then you come with the play-action pass. Just so hard to defend.
They'll give it off here. He makes a move, and he's brought down. 6-yard gain, and that will bring up second down. So second down now. The offense needs about 4 for the first.
Right. Close right. Tiger. Good egg. Move up. Back up. Hey, regular.
Gord will run it again. And he's decleated at the 46-yard line. Gain of 4, and so it'll be third down. It's third down now, just about the length of the football away from the first down marker. Smith sends a man in motion. Gord runs a counter. He lost yardage on the play. Disappointing there, to say the least.
Well, that'll bring the boo birds out. Anytime you make a conservative third down run call and you get thrown for a loss, the home folks aren't going to be too happy.
Gets his leg into it, and he got a huge punt here. So this one goes into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. They were forced to punt on their last drive. The Redskins line up with an offset eye backfield. Campbell hands it off, and he will lose yardage on the play. Nice stop on that play.
Yeah, great defense at the point of attack, but also very impressive, the pursuit to the ball. They were all coming there.
We got to rush the ball, y'all. Play your assignments, man. Let's get off this field, man. Wide, Trent.
He drops back, throws it short, brings this one in. Thomas picked up 6 for that grab. 3rd and 5 situation. Ball on the 25-yard line. Washington is going with the offset eye backfield. Pitch out. Dropped behind the line. I don't think that's what the coach had in mind when he called that play.
And we've talked about it before, but third down really is such a key to football. When you get in those third down situations, you can demoralize a defense if you can convert. Flip side of that, of course, is if the defense makes that kind of play, it can really demoralize an offense.
Gets the punt away. This one's going to go out of bounds at the 43. They couldn't do anything against this defense on their last drive, and they were forced to punt. He looks to throw on first down. Throws it. The backer picks it off. That's his 5th pick of the game. Unbelievable.
Tom, I have to tell you, I was the worst quarterback in the history of the planet. I played through high school and my freshman year of college, and not even I could throw 5 interceptions in one game. I tried, but I never did do that.
Portis takes the give. Hit hard at the 38. They picked up a yard.
Boy, he just took a shot on that one. As a running back, the last thing in the world you want is a short gain and a big hit.
Let's get it.
Back to pass. He's sacked. He hasn't had much of a problem finding the quarterback in this one. Well, they'll only lose a yard on the play, so I guess it could have been worse. The Redskins come out with 3 wide receivers. Quarterback in the shotgun. Campbell drops back. He throws on the run, and it's completed. He's brought down at the 48-yard line. Excellent pass by the quarterback on that play.
I'm really enjoying watching the timing between this receiver and the quarterback. We're seeing a well-schooled offense now going to work.
Tennessee. Green, too bad. Rush. Close up. Hey, never quit.
They'll throw on first down. Hit him in the hands, but he can't hang on. And he just managed to get a piece of it. Nice play by the defender.
And as a receiver, you really have to do a better job of coming back to the football at that point. You have to help the quarterback.
Looking to throw. He passes short. Brought down at the 46-yard line. And they get 5 yards from that completion.
He'll take plays like that all day long.
There you go.
6 DBs on the field for the defense.
Let's go. Regular. ADO here, ADO. Liz. Go.
Fakes to the back. He's there for the catch. He's dropped at the 32-yard line. Nice job by the quarterback to hit the tight end for a decent gain.
You know, tight ends may not come up with those real explosive plays down the field all the time, but they sure are a nice target for the quarterback.
Get over there, baby. We need that rock. Let's go. Toby 32. Come on now.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. They tackle him for a loss, and they were not able to get much there.
And so many times you hear offensive coordinators criticized because they don't try to run the football enough. Well, when you get stuffed in the backfield like that, you understand why they would rather call the pass play.
He drops back to pass, dumps it out right. He's tackled at about the 23-yard line. Another fine pass and catch on that play.
I know we all talk about 40-yard dash times in the NFL, but as a receiver, if you are a great route runner and you understand what the defenses are trying to do to you, it doesn't matter if you run a 4.3 40. If you can get in and out of your cuts like this guy, you will always be able to play.
And it's caught. Tackled around the 14-yard line. They pick up several yards there on the pass.
And that fake really was the difference. Not only did the quarterback sell it, the running back sold it, the offensive line did, and the receiver was open for a nice play.
There's a play fake. And the fullback is wide open out there. Great open field tackle. That reception is good for 7.
Little 7-yard throws like that have really become the staple of the National Football League. So many defenses now not allowing the big throws down the field. You have to be willing to take throws just like that.
They'll keep it on the ground again. And they get him around the 1-yard line. They've got the defense completely off balance. It's another first down.
And you get the feeling this defense is fishing a little bit right now. They've tried a little bit of everything. Some man coverage, little blitz, little zone blitz, all these different combinations available to them. And yet time after time, these first downs keep on coming.
A little misdirection. He'll be brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
He was so much more deflating than an offensive penalty because on offense you have a chance to make up for it. On defense, a lot of times it's big yardage and automatic first downs.
Here's the give. They'll get in for the touchdown.
How about that little juke in the middle of that move? That's just a one-on-one athletic play that time. That was fun to watch.
It's good. Here's a quick look at the drive summary. Kicks it off. From the 5-yard line. Drilled at the 33-yard line. The quarterback leads his offense back onto the field after turning it over on their last drive. Smith lines up under center. They'll line up in single back. He looks to throw on first down. Has a man deep. Here's the throw. The defender was able to get a hand on it.
And really, that came as a result of pretty physical play at the line of scrimmage. They're banging these guys around and not letting them get into their routes.
They'll give it off here. Brought down behind the line. Nothing doing. They stop him for a loss.
And I really like the discipline of this defense. You never see these guys trying to do too much. They control their gaps, and that time there was nowhere to go.
Looks to pass. He throws a bullet across the middle. He's brought down at about the 47-yard line. And this receiver just loves it when the defense is in man coverage.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when you're coming off the ball and you know it's just you and the guy across from you. That's just good old-fashioned football, but you also know typically when you get man coverage, your quarterback is under pressure.
Huge hit. Not what they were looking for on that play call.
You know, for a running back, there comes a point in time where you say, all right, this play is not working. Let me just get as much as I can and try to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
He drops back. The defense has him surrounded. Throws on the run. Comes down with it. He's tackled at the 41-yard line. Nice toss that time that'll get them a lot closer.
You know, there's really no doubting this quarterback's physical skills. Sometimes he struggles with his mechanics or accuracy, but I don't think that there's really any issue. This guy has the ability to be an elite quarterback.
Catch is made. Brought down around the 35-yard line. That's now 300 yards passing for the quarterback.
Yeah, and this guy really knows how to lead this football team. You can just see it in the huddle. He's in control of all situations, not only in the huddle, but at the line of scrimmage. Good checks there. There's no question who's in charge on this football team.
Under heavy pressure. There for the reception. And they get him at the 28-yard line. And quite a catch that time. He just went up there and grabbed it.
Typically, receivers are a little taller than defensive backs, so it's not a bad play on occasion to throw one up and let your guy try and go and out-jump the defender.
Drops back. Short pass to his left. Tackled about the 25-yard line. Johnson gets him about 3 yards on that completion. That'll bring up third down. Smith is in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers split out wide. They'll throw for the first. Goes through his read. No connection there. He led the receiver a bit too much on that last pass.
And let's give the defense a little credit. They were in position. He tried to fit it in over and around the defense that time and just couldn't get it done.
Feeds it to the back. And he is dropped for a loss on fourth down. The offense will start at the 29-yard line. First down, 10 to go. Nice play fake. Looks down the field. The pass rush gets there, and he's down. Second down and 15 to go. Ball on the 24. The offense lines this one up in shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Drops back to pass. Guns it out. Makes the reception. Brought down about the 43-yard line. That's the arm strength we've been talking about all week.
And you know the amazing thing about this guy, we all talk about his arm strength, but did you see how fluid that delivery was? He didn't even look like he was trying to throw it hard.
Hands it to the back. He's dropped at the 47-yard line. Portis gets 3 yards on the play. Second and 7 situation here. Ball on the 47. Fumble. Thomas picks it up. And that was not a good time for a fumble.
Well, there's really never a good time for a fumble, but you can tell that he just got sloppy with that football. He broke down on his fundamentals and he gave it up.
They give it to the tailback. He's tackled at the 31, and that was a nice job to pick up the first down.
Nothing makes a defensive coordinator cringe more than seeing that kind of run, because then it sets up the play action, and there's almost no way to stop an offense if you can't stop the run and you have to deal with play action.
First down, looking to throw. Scans the field, and he caught it. He's brought down at the 19. He made the right read on that pass.
Nice play that time by the quarterback. You know, we talk about progressions and going from one receiver to the next, but this quarterback is doing a great job in the pre-snap read, knowing who the first guy will be and getting him the football.
Gives to the back. And they get him at the 15. Gore gains around 3 yards on the counter play.
And Tom, that was because the defense filled up all the gaps. The back was looking for somewhere to run, but by bringing the run blitz, they took away all the holes and stopped them for a minimal gain.
And it's picked off. Why did he even make that pass?
Yeah, Tom, I think he got baited into that throw. He thought the defensive back was going elsewhere. He did a little fake, came back in, made the pick, just a real heads-up play.
It's first and 10. Ball on their own 11. The Redskins line up in an I formation. It's the tailback. Tackled right around the 12-yard line. The halfback picks up a yard. The 49ers line up with a nickelback. Campbell drops back to pass. He throws left. Incomplete pass this time. Randall L. was his intended target on that one, but they can't complete the pass. They hand it off. Brought down at the 18-yard line. Is that the right call to make?
Yeah, that's because the offense shouldn't have called a run there. That's sort of a give-up play. You know, you hear people talk about, well, we're just going to run one in there and punt the football away. I'm just not made that way. I'm an old offensive guy. I say, let's sling it.
He gets it away. Rossum fields it at the 40. And he just got hammered. It looked for a moment that he might take that one all the way back.
Boy, that was a close one for the coverage team. They were able to wrap him up before he broke it open, but he is on the brink. This coverage team is going to have to start playing with a little more intensity, a little more heart, or they're going to give up a big one.
He's brought down around the 38-yard line. He was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage on that scramble. 2nd down and 9 to go. Ball on the 38-yard line. Nice play fake. Looking for an open man. Pass is complete. He's tackled at the 19. What happened there, Chris?
Well, they got caught in man-to-man coverage on that play, and I couldn't tell if the defender slipped a little bit or not. Maybe he just got beat on the play.
Gore gets the carry. Tackled at the 19-yard line. Got maybe a couple of feet. That'll bring up 2nd down. San Francisco lines up in a double tight set. And it looked like they jumped early.
We'll get in. I need a ball.
Full start, offense.
And that one got him 5 yards.
Well, if you want to know why Pee Wee football coaches make you run a lap if you jump off sides, it's because it can really have a negative impact on your offense, just like that one.
Blue 45. Blue 45. Zebra. Come on, D, let's get off the field now. Stay on side.
To throw. Looks for a man open. Brought down at the 16. He's there for the catch once again. That's number 2 on this offensive possession.
You know, you hear all the time about quarterbacks getting into a rhythm, but sometimes a quarterback and a receiver can get into a rhythm where the quarterback begins to look to one guy a little bit more because he feels more comfortable, and I think that's beginning to happen now.
No connection this time. Battle was the intended receiver, and he can't bring it in. Not much indecision by the coach here. He'll keep the offense out there to go for it. Back to pass. Surveys the field. Almost picked. They'll take over at the 16. They come out in the nickel. Play fake. Short throw. Steps out at the 23. He delivered a nice throw on that drop back, completing it for a pretty good gain.
You know, there aren't many guys who work any harder than this guy, both in the offseason and during the week of practice. He isn't the most physically gifted quarterback I've ever seen, but you can tell the time he puts in the film room, in the weight room, and he understands ball.
The Redskins come out in a formation. Davis is the motion man. He'll get it again. It appears to be short. Got a couple, but will still be short of the marker.
Always hear coaches talking about whoever gets lower. Get your pad level lower than the offensive lineman. That time this defensive line did exactly that.
He gets it away. And they make the fair catch. So as the offense heads back onto the field, time to remember that our game is brought to you by EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Back to pass. Fires it out. And he catches it. He's dropped at about the 47-yard line. That was a good-looking throw.
Yeah, great throw, but maybe even a better read. He understood by watching what the defense did after the snap of the football exactly where to go with that ball.
He drops back to pass. Goes through his reads. He couldn't hang on to it. 2nd down now following the pass. They'll face 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 48. 3 wide receivers set.
Blue 45! Blue 45! Zero!
Drops back to pass. Throws while on the run. Drops the sure pick. An excellent job by the defense of disrupting that last play.
And that was really on the not route, very little separation, and gave the defense a chance to make that play.
Battle the man in motion.
48! Let's go, guys. Come on.
Drops back. He throws it. Is there for the catch. Brought down at the 37. A good end that time.
Tight ends are so big that as coverage people, it's tough to figure out. If you're on, they throw it to the right side. If you're behind them, they throw it in front. Tight ends are tough to cover.
Tackle right at 4-yard line. 2-yard gain. That brings up second down. It's coming up here.
Hey, we gotta watch the ball.
San Francisco in the shotgun.
48! 48! No, you're good, you're good.
Smith drops back. Looks down the field with the pass. And he's out of bounds, incomplete. Looked like he tried to drag as he was going to get him.
Sometimes that happens. The quarterback put it in a spot where only he could catch it. The problem was little off.
Catch. He ran a clean route, and the quarterback got it to him with a good pass. First down.
And you can tell there's a lot of confidence between these two guys. The quarterback has faith, tough sit to go to that receiver and make big plays.
Play fake. A lot of room to run. Drag out will be first and goal. Possession game. The offense can cut that down if they can get it in the air. Hands up. Landry picks it off. Brutal hit thrown that.
He did. Away right to the defender, and that's just those mistakes cannot make in this league. Hard in scoring zone. Just can't away when you get there.
Now and ball over. They line up. Off here. He's tackled around the 4, maybe 5. Second down and 5 to go. 9. Washington comes out with 3 receivers and a single back.
Bark, bark, bark. Don't lose your bite. Go, go, go. We're talking about breathing. Waggle. Close well. Go fit the gap. Hey, no. Here we go. 21. Let's go. Keep playing. Bang it, bang it.
For the middle. He's brought 23 yards. The defense was fit for a.
Well, when you have a running back, always count for him. That time, a nice pass down the field.
Minutes remain. Fourth quarter.
Watch the run now. Watch the run. Turn it up. 44.
Pressure bullet. He's dropped 7. Nice little pitch and catch with the wideout.
Wide receiver to manipulate defense, play exact and break next.
Gets the pass. Knocks it to Davis was the receiver. It in down 10 yards up in the set. On the run. Forward to 39. It's up 2 yards to carry. From the 9 and this time. Bats off. Goal at the 4 yards. Option hand. The Redskins are away. Waiting for the. He punts it. Rossum takes it free. He's tackled around the 12. Quarterback threw a pick on their last drive. Let's see if he's able.
Let's go.
Smith is in the shotgun. First.
48.
He looks to throw on first down. On the run, he throws it. Dropped it. The quarterback is lucky that left it.
Yeah, fit some of those into some tight hole. Once you're going to get one pick, but that was a pretty good play by the.
Look, it's the throwaway. He's brought down around the 45-yard line. And a great quarterback convert for the first.
One of this, a variety of throws. Yes, ability in there when he needs to, but we've also seen some touch throws, a very complete repertoire.
So they'll 2nd and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line.
Here we go, baby. Roll it like.
He drops back. He throws on. Oh, the pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
I think the quarterback may have had to throw a longer than he wanted to. The pressure was there.
San Francisco uses motion. Looking to throw. Short throw to the right. There for the catch. And they get him at the 33-yard line. Another in, and that gives him 100 yards received.
And not just a couple of routes that he runs well. That's so tough. He can run the good underneath routes, but he can also take you over the top as well. So you have to give him those little throws.
Set receivers in the formation. Back to pass. Scans the field. He makes another catch. They finally get him, and it looked like he instead they set up with 1st and goal. That will be this game. Our final score is the Redskins 27, the 49ers 13.